Hello and welcome to another episode of Momento Malum. Today, there's a great deal of importance in the genetic variation and distribution of any plant species. For crop species, on-farm conservation is one of the best strategies for preserving genetic variation existing in local varieties and land races. Land races are populations containing some common elements and traits, but also have considerable genetic variation between individuals. That variation allows for the adaptation to particular conditions that characterize that location. It also allows for further selection for quality traits based on the farmer's personal taste. As a result, land races, in spite of a possible common origin, can be further divided into distinct populations. This variability also generally smooths out the annual yield fluctuations over a wide range of environmental conditions, although this comes at a cost of yield increases associated with uniformity. In modern times, land races represent one of the most important crop genetic resources available to plant breeders, acting as the primary source for new variation and new traits. Italy is the largest producer of artichoke. In Italy, many farmers have replaced their local land races with a single clone of the Romanesco land race. This clone is characterized by high precocity. Farmers also find this clone advantageous because it allows for early entry into the artichoke market with a higher price. The consequence of using one individual mass-cloned plant is the gradual loss of genetic variation, and a secondary result of this process is the realization that its clone is susceptible to chill and several artichoke diseases. Dr. Pagnotta would analyze 30 specimens from free land races using both AFLP and ISSR genetic marker technologies to determine the land race's genetic variation. And here are the results. The land races were named Latina 1, 2, and 3. It was found that the land races had a genetic diversity level of 0.77 on average, which is pretty darn high. Of the three land races, Latina 1 had the least genetic variation, with Latina 2 and 3 having the most. Although the present study found that the variability present across the land races is quite high, the genetic distance between the different populations is not so high. Much of the genetic variation seems to be derived from within population variation, which is good. On a genetic distance level, although there's little genetic distance, Latina 1 and Latina 3 were found to be the most genetically distinct from one another, and there's still many farmers that grow all three land races. This paper demonstrated the existence of a great deal of genetic variation within farms that still grow their own land races. To step away from this paper, I would conclude by saying the level of variation found in these land races is why heirlooms such as these in all crop species should be continued to be farmed to prevent loss in variation that can be used to breed new cultivars for the future. And that about covers everything. Thank you for watching. If you want to donate to my channel, the links are below. If you want to buy my book, you can also find that link in the description box below.